Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahweh Shah, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahweh Shah, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahweh Shah, Barakati Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Bashim Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect and the sincere Akim, pushing his word, risking their lives, and their freedom to do so. And Brother Mayim, come to a short lesson on, end time prophecies and the words of the Lord, coming true. And if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, and you look at the world and see the condition of the world, you'll see that, we at the end. Here in the city of Philadelphia, the murder rate is astronomical. Every day you cut the news on, there's different accounts of people being maimed and murdered. And at the ages of these jakes is real young. They got a spirit of a heavy spirit of self-destruction on them. But the scriptures speak about that. The men of the Lord, we constantly meditate on the scriptures, and we the prophecy forecasters. We see the future. All through the spirit of power of Yahweh Shem Shah. Matthew 10, verse 35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And that's what you see happening out there right now. Petty arguments can lead to somebody getting stabbed to death. And that's all the spirit of prophecy. The Lord is putting the spirit of at variance. He's setting the mother against the daughter, the father against the son, the cousin against the brother. When you're not covered through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, then you're going to fall victim, to this perverse spirit that's out there. Going to Matthew 24, verse 10. And verse 12, Slakia. Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Ain't no love out there. The only people that have love, true love, is in the brotherhood. Because we fighting for an incorruptible ground, and we know that we move with circumspect. And we know that we can't betray one another, because Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah is watching. They say the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. And we know the angels is always around taking accounts of our deeds. And because of that, we move wisely. And offending your brother is not a wise move. So we try to treat our brothers, we treat our brothers with care and with love. Now, if one of our brothers in need, then we all in need, because we all one body. But these people in the world not moving like that. They got their YOLO spirit, and they only live once, and they crown is corruptible. It's all vanity. And everything that they fighting for, when those missiles come, it's gonna be eviscerated. But what we fighting for is incorruptible. That crown is incorruptible. And it's one of the best things that you can sacrifice yourself for. It's having an incorruptible, immortal body. And being able to, stand in the midst of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah when he come back to establish his throne, that's one of the best things, that you could ever get. And LeBron James got a crown, but that joint incorruptible. He got mansions, he could do whatever he want to do in this world. But this world has this kingdom has a time limit, and if you could see that this shit is over with, you know what I mean? You know, but we gonna be in the midst of all the trouble that's going on out there. You know, the righteous are gonna be scarcely be saved. Jeremiah 30 verse 7. Jeremiah 30 verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Yeah, you know, Jacob's trouble gonna be at the worst time in the history of the Israelites. It's gonna be worse than the slave trade, worse than 70 AD, worse than any captivity that we ever been in. It's gonna be so bad that Michael gonna have to stand up for us. You know what I mean? They say the enemy shall come in like a flood. Let me get that real quick. Isaiah 59 verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, for his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Yeah, and that standard that the Lord is going to lift up is going to be spiritual power. You know what I mean? For the men of the Lord, so that we can fight or take flight. You know, because we gonna need that. We gonna need the Lord's help. You know, because we don't have nothing. Only thing we have is faith, and that's all we need. You know, he said if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you can move mountains. So, the best thing that, you can have, during Jacob's trouble is an abundance amount of faith. You know what I mean? Because there's various accounts in the scriptures where, the men of the Lord, got assistance from above. And that assistance is real. Psalms 121. Let me get that real quick. Salaki, I got a cold. Psalms 121 verse 1. I will lift up mine eyes to the hills from whence cometh my help. Yeah, that's where the help coming from. My help gonna come from on high. Those chariots. And it was a video that was circulating around last week amongst the Achaim. And this Northern Kingdom brother who was given an animated description of, the chariots from a NASA space station. And it was a massive chariot, that NASA had live streamed, recorded, but then they cut the live stream because, they didn't want to, the people to see what's going on out there. But we already know from the apostles and the elders on down, they've been pushing this word for over 30 years. So we already know what those vehicles are. The chariots of Israel. And that's how we getting out of here. Psalms 121, verse 1. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. Yeah, the water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. Because we going to get help from on high. And it's going to be to the strangest of our salvation. Let me get that real quick. Wisdom of Solomon, 5 verse 1. Because these people don't know what's going on. Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Yeah, because the Israelite man is the most downtrodden man, in the face of the globe. You know, all the nations look down on us like we nothing but a dust on the ground. And everywhere you look, Jake's struggling, especially here in Philadelphia. Jake is through here. You know, tattoos on the face, pants hanging off their butt. You know what I mean? The women all out of shape, stupid ass eyelashes on their eyes, weaves all in their hair. Just obnoxious, man. You know what I mean? Brute beasts. But guess what? The Lord is coming. We getting help from on high. The elect of Israel is going to help from on high, and it's going to be beautiful. Verse 2: When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. It is going to be the greatest, worst to first story in the history of mankind. Because when they see those chariots appear in the sky, you know, a mountain-sized chariot that Yahweh Shemel Shah going to be standing on, they're going to be troubled with terrible fear, you know, because they're going to know that the hour has come for them to be judged for all the mischief that they've been doing, you know what I mean, throughout their lives. And then when they see, you know, the elect of Israel getting beamed up, it's going to be strange. So far beyond all that they look for. Because they think that, you know, Jake is just going to be a bum forever. Jake is just going to be the laughing stock, you know what I mean, forever. Jake is just going to be the person that they can take their frustration out on forever. Jake is going to just be the image of, you know, being a reprobate forever. But the Lord got a different plan. Because this is all the Lord's plan. You know. So he can show his power, you know, and redeeming us. And also so he can, you know, get his world to his son. You know. And when his son come back to rule his world, you know, it ain't gonna be no more wickedness here. And if it is, you know, we gonna handle it in a righteous manner. It ain't gonna be no jail system where you can go into a supermarket, you know what I mean, and murder 10 people, get arrested, and then plead not guilty after you know, got caught with all the weapons in your hand, and you even videotaped it yourself, and you're gonna have the nerve to say you know you're not guilty. Stuff not gonna happen in the kingdom. You know, judgment is gonna be handed out speedily and righteously. So, you know, this is just a short lesson on, you know, the prophecies coming to pass. You know, the murder rate is astronomical, famine, you know, pestilence, you know, just an abundance amount of fear that's out there in the world. People walking around with masks by themselves, in the cars by themselves. It's just complete total delusion and fear out there. The fear is so thick out there that, you know, you could slice it with a knife. You know what I mean? But like scriptures say, you know, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And we can't wait, you know what I mean, until this shit is over with. You know, because every day being in this wicked ass kingdom is a vexation to the spirit. Because, you know, we royal. And knowing that we are royal people and seeing us in the condition we in, you know, it's just like, man, it's hard, man. You know, every day is a struggle living in this filthy kingdom. You know what I mean? Every day is a struggle here. So we looking for and we hastening to the coming day of our Lord so he can set things aright. You know? And that's how we want to live. We want to live in a non-polluted world. Where the women are beautiful, the water is cool to drink, the air is not polluted. You know what I mean? The animals are functioning properly. You know, ain't no fucking chemicals in the air. We tired of this place. We praying and hoping that Yahweh Shem Yahushua hasten his return. So I pray and I hope this lesson was edifying. Until the next time, Shalom.